Okay, you're going to cut your ribbon. You need 3 ribbons, 30 inches each. Now you're going to take your 2 ribbon and you're going to run them through the sewing machine. You're going to put your sewing machine on a zigzag stitch, and then you're just going to stick your ribbon right in there, and then you're going to grab like one side of each of the ribbon like this. Now you may think that it's a good idea to go slow, but I found the faster you go, the more likely it's going to be to stay straight. So now when you finish it, it's going to have a little bit of a wave to it, but that's okay. We're going to iron it in a little while, but you can see there where I put the ribbon went together. You can look on the back as well. You kind of want to keep it neat because the back is going to show. And that's what your finished ribbon will look like. Just make sure you trim all the little edges and such. Now you're going to take this piece and you're just going to iron it. But when you do, flip it over and iron it from the back so you're not having to worry about ruining your dots. Now you're going to take your stretchy material, cut it to about 30 inches long, and then you're going to have like this ultra heat bond stuff. Comes in a package like this, just wrapped up in there. It's $3. Use your coupon, you'll get it for half off at Hobby Lobby. And you're just going to take this stuff, flip it over to the back like that, and you're going to iron this stuff on like this. Now what I always do is I start it by ironing just a tiny bit in the very beginning, and then I line it up for the rest of the ironing. I'm going to iron it down and then I'll be back. While you're doing it, be careful because this stuff right here gets really hot and it kind of curls a little bit, and so you just kind of want to make sure you're keeping it pretty flat. The next thing you're going to do is you're just going to cut out this, and it will already be pre-measured to 7/8. So right now you should have your big ribbon and 2 silver pieces or whatever color of stretchy material you chose to use. Now you're going to peel the heat and bond off the back. When you're peeling, it'll leave the sticky stuff on one side. Pretty easy to get off. Okay, once you have it peeled, you're going to line it up with your bow where you want it to sit. That's why I really like using the polka dotted ribbon for the outer part. I like to line mine up like this so that we just kind of get a little bit of an outer ring, and then you're going to iron it. But do not put your iron straight on this or you will melt all of your little polka dots. Instead, I use this thing. I don't know, I got it with some like iron-on letters. You can use a towel, like you can use a damp towel, you can use a dry towel. You just want something in between you and the ribbon or you will ruin your ribbon. You just want to kind of just press the iron down until it's stuck. You don't really want to move it around a bunch because you don't want to move your ribbon too much. And you're going to go all the way down to the end. Once you have both pieces ironed down, I usually flip it over like this, and then you can iron straight on it just to kind of make sure everything is stuck really good. Now we're going to make fishtails in the end. I recommend folding it in half like this and then just cutting, just snip right there and you'll have your fishtail. So there you'll have your fishtails just like that. When you open it up, you have your little ends. You want to do that on both sides. Sometimes in order to make it even, I try to just use the one that I just cut and line it up so they'll be the same size. Also, sometimes on your ends, your stuff will come up a little bit. The best thing to do is just hot glue it down. Don't keep trying to bond it over and over and over again. It's not worth it. Just heat seal these edges really quick with a lighter, just run along. The best way to know the middle of your ribbon, which you're about to need to know, is to fold your ribbon in half, just like this. Take it and put a pin dot right there where the primary. Your dot can be super tiny like that. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to make a template. This is just a piece of cardstock that I cut out. It's like, I don't know, a few inches long, and it's 7 inches across, and then at 3.5 right here, I just cut like a slit in it. You're going to take your ribbon, line it up with your dot, just like that, and then you're just going to fold. You don't have to use a template to do this. I just did it because I'm making a bunch of these, so I want them all to look exactly the same. You'll take it, you'll fold it like this, And then you're going to slide this, and I'm doing this one-handed. You're going to slide this off the template. I'll come back after I've slid off the template. Once you've slid it off the template, you're going to work it until you get it to be the bow that you want it to be. So I'm going to play with it a little bit. You want it to kind of have a memory of how it's going to look because we're about to put a zip tie right there in the middle to hold it. Okay, once you get your bow looking exactly how you want it, you're going to use a zip tie. These things you can buy like in the automotive department or at any hardware store. I'm going to show you how to wrap. You're basically just going to wrap it around the edge of this. See, they just go around just like that. You'll see, just like that. And then you're going to pull it as tight as you can. I usually use like needle nose pliers or something, and then you kind of shape your bow a little bit more just to make sure it's perfect before you pull it as super tight. And when you're done, you're just going to trim that right off. So now we have our bow. We just need to make the centerpiece and put the ponytail holder on it. The centerpiece is easy. I'm going to use the green ribbon. You can really use whatever you want to. Just cut enough so you can make a cool knot in it. I usually cut about right there. I totally eyeball it. That's what your knot's going to look like. And you're just going to take this and we'll hot glue it to there. But first I'll show you how to hot glue the ponytail holder down. I like these big, thick ponytail holders. I think they're made by Goody. A lot of people have asked me in the past if you can put the ponytail holder underneath the zip tie. The answer is no, because what happens is that plastic rubs against the zip tie. I know that would be cool. You would have to use hardly any glue at all for this. Instead, we're just going to glue it right down right there on the back of the bow. I use quite a bit of glue, and I'm just going to stick that ponytail holder. I usually put the seam right into that glob right there. Don't touch it with your hands. It's super hot. I touched it with my hands. I usually use a lighter and just heat seal the edges of this because I don't want there to be any frays. Now we're going to put our glue first right there because we know exactly where we want the knot, and then we can work from there. There's our glue dot, and I'm just going to put the knot right on top there, just like that. And then I'm going to fold the edges over like this. Now I've glued that part down. I'm just going to take this, fold it over really tight, and glue it as well. And now you have your perfect cheer bow and your